What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush, Let's Talk Jets Radio. Hope everybody's doing great. Holiday weekend is here. Enjoy those times with family and friends. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Thank you, everybody, for supporting us and joining us. We missed the live stream on Monday due to me. I had no power, which really sucked in 100-degree heat. But thank you for everybody that's been reaching out to us. The shirts, everybody ordered shirts. Hopefully, they'll be in the end of this week, probably next week, like next Saturday. We'll get those all out as well. Right now, we're heading to 3 weeks away from training camp, 4 weeks away from training camp. All these lists are coming out. People are trying to get their last clicks in during a very quiet time. And a topic that keeps coming up is realistic expectations for the Jets. Now, on Tuesday night, Tyrone mentioned 10 wins in playoffs. You know, Pro Football Focus is saying the Jets will be most improved, but they have a bottom 5 roster. And I think there's a lot of things to talk about here. So, first thing is, I think the Jets are going to be much improved, and it starts with the coaching staff. The Jets had one of the worst coaching staffs in the NFL last year, and the players knew it. They didn't buy in. They didn't play hard. There was just complete chaos in the locker room, on the field. So just bringing a guy that's respected, credible, with a blueprint will give you improved play, improved performance, and better results on the field. So to say if you go from 2 wins to 5 or 6 wins, that's a big improvement. You go to 7, 8 wins, that's a huge improvement. So I think the coaching staff alone makes this team much improved. So when you go to the roster, you know, bottom 5 roster in the NFL, I think a lot of times we don't really know what a lot of these players are because last year was a pandemic year with a lousy coaching staff. And like I said before, a lot of these guys knew that they were destined to fail last year. They knew they weren't going anywhere. They were just collecting checks, trying to get through it, and trying to figure it out. So I think if you look at just what the Jets did this offseason and the improvements they made, just on the offensive line, bringing in Vera Tucker, bringing in Morgan Moses, you have Connor McGovern, you have Mekhi Becton. Like, the offensive line is not as bad as people think it's going to be. See, right now, I think a lot of people just get a little bit lazy and say, the Jets suck. Look how bad they were last year. They only added a few players. But some of the players they have are all actually already good. Like, Becton's a building block. Now you have Vera Tucker, building block. Morgan Moses, a very good starting right tackle. So then you have good competition at right guard, and you have a solid center. You look at the wide receiver group. I mean, the wide receiver group is as good as the Jets have had in years. And it's not just 2 or 3 players. They go 5 deep. I mean, people are discounting Keelan Cole, and Keelan Cole is very good. You know, you have Mims, you got Corey Davis, you got, you have all these different players, even Crowder, and Elijah Moore. I mean, the Jets wide receiver group is actually a strength on this team. You look at the running back group, and now, like a lot of teams in the NFL don't have that one big feature back. They have a platoon, and the Jets have exciting players there too, like Ty Johnson, super explosive. Michael Carter, Tevin Coleman, I know came off an injury-riddled year, but if you look at where this team was last year, where you had Frank Gore and Le'Veon Bell, who's a shell himself, and then Michael Pirine, and you look at where you're at now, I think it's a lot better. You look at the wide receiver group last year. You had Perryman, who is whatever with him. But you look at all the upgrades they made, they're significant. Now, the tight end group is still concerned, and Herndon's been a disappointment. If you get anything out of him, is great. Maybe they scheme him up more. Maybe they get something out of Tyler Kroft. But I don't think you have to rely on them as much when you have so many weapons at wide receiver where you can move them all around. They're all versatile. Your running backs can all catch the ball. And then you look at the quarterback. And to me, I think the quarterback's been upgraded. And that's not an indictment on Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold was just defeated. He just was in his head. He just lost. He lost his confidence. He lost himself. And I think Zach Wilson, with his swagger and all his athletic ability, will be an upgrade because the Jets can scheme for him and will scheme for him, something Adam Gase never did. And I think he'll be able to run this offense. And he'll make some big plays down the field. So overall, this offense will be much better than last year for a variety of reasons. And that will produce more points, and that'll produce more wins. Defensively, it's hard to not be excited. You look at the Jets' defensive front, and I don't understand. You're saying bottom 5 roster in the NFL. The Jets' defensive front is solid, man. When you have Quinnen Williams and Carl Lawson, all these young guys are going to be hungry and physical and playing well. You're bringing back C.J. Mosley, who's a Pro Bowl caliber linebacker. So there's a lot of talent there. You look at the safety position. Marcus May is very highly touted. LaMarcus Joyner is a quality player as well. So if you have a concern, it's a young secondary, but you could hide that young secondary with an excellent pass rush and schemes. And if you can go out and go get a player. But if you look at this team last year on defense, they added explosive playmaker, and Carl Lawson. You added some pieces. I think this defense will be better. I think it'll be better coached as well. They'll be more aggressive. So both sides of the ball, this team is better. Special teams, I think, the kicker is going to be a disaster, the punter or whatever. I think the returning game will just be as explosive. I think their kick coverage will be a lot better because they've added a lot of better athletes. But overall, this team is much improved. Now, in terms of how that translates to win and losses, I'm still going to stay in that 6, 7, 8 range because there's a lot remains to be seen here. You have so many new parts, and that's my concern. New parts is a good thing because you can catch the NFL by storm by surprising everybody, but also there's going to be a learning curve. There's going to be growing pains. It's just a lot. There's going to be a first-time experiences for the quarterback, the coach. You're going to face adversity. How does everybody handle it? So I think there's a lot of really good things. I think the offense will be able to, like I said, put up some points, and the defense will hold their own. So I think it's going to be a very competitive team, a very physical team, a passionate team. I think they'll be well coached, and you see what happens. You're going to get their best shot week in, week out with something they probably didn't do last year. Now, if you want to say, listen, I think this team could surprise and go to playoffs and maybe get 10 wins, that'll be great. I'm not going to go against you. I'm just saying I'm kind of hesitant because I wish Robert Saleh was here a year and then he brings Zach Wilson into the system, not everybody all coming at the same time. You know what I mean? I think it'd be a lot. Then you can say, listen, we already have our systems in place. We plug in the quarterback. We know what we have. But there's just so much newness and so much change, which makes me fall in that 6 or 7 range. But I'm excited. I think this is a great time to be a Jets fan. I don't think they're a bottom 5 roster. I think they're better than that. I think there's such a stigma around this team based on what we've been the last 2 years. They're not recognizing the talent that's already been here that was either underutilized, misused, or just depreciated because of poor coaching. So have a great weekend. Maybe Monday night we'll go to stream. If not, we'll be live on Tuesday. And that's it. Talk to you later.